When y'all see my face, y'all already know what time it is. I'm coming to either spread the truth or step on shit while spreading the truth. This case is step on shit while spreading the truth. And like I said before, this guy, he's a coward. He never shows his face, but he comes on our content and constantly harasses us, right? I'm gonna try to keep this short as possible. So this goofy nut chaser is accusing me of cherry picking, right? I debunked him after he tried to debunk one of the little homies, right? And now he's accusing me of cherry picking. So I'm gonna break this all the way down for you. All the way. And look at that comment right there. Pay attention to that and remember that. He used this page, and right down there at the bottom where it says Star Cenarian Chinese as his thing. But one, this is not the primary source. And two, someone just added that shit in. They don't know what that means, because when you Google Cenarian definition, nothing pops up. When you Google the etymology of Cenarian, nothing pops up. Cenarian comes from the Sanaa region, and we're going to touch on that. Now, this right here is the primary source. It's titled the Sealer Codex. Now, this codex actually contains the 1524 letter to King Francis from Giovanni da Verrazzano, and it reads, "They go completely naked, except that around their loins they wear skins of small animals like martens, with a narrow belt of grass around the body, to which they tie various tails of other animals, which hang down to the knees. The rest of the body is bare, so is the head. Some of them wear garlands of birds' feathers. They are dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians, with thick black hair, not very long, tied back behind the head like a small tail." Let me read that part over. "They are dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians, with thick black hair, not very long, tied back behind the head like a small tail. As far as the physique of these men, they are well proportioned, of medium height, a little taller than we are. They have broad chests, strong arms, and the legs and other parts of the body are well composed. There is nothing else, except they tend to be rather broad in the face, but not all, for we saw many with angular faces. They have big black eyes and an attentive, open look. They are very strong, but they have a sharp cunning, and they are agile and swift runners. From what we can tell from observation in the last two respects, they resemble the Orientals, particularly those of the farthest Cenarian regions." Now let's stop right there. We won't come back to this, but let's stop right there. Now that bedpan African goofy still thinks that Oriental means Chinese, but it don't mean Chinese, right? And we're reading the noun of the etymology of Oriental. It says native or inhabitant of the East. When we go up to the adjective, it says of the Orient, from the East. Pause there. Now, the root word of Oriental is Orient. So let's touch on that. And the noun, right? It says the direction east, the part of the horizon where the sun first appears. The eastern regions of the world, eastern countries, all originally vaguely meaning region east and south of Europe, what is now called Middle East, but sometimes Egypt and India. Remember in the passage earlier, it says they look like they was from the farthest Cenarian regions, right? The Cenarian region will be considered the Sinai Peninsula, right? And as we can read here, it says the Sinai Peninsula, or simply Sinai, is a peninsula in Egypt and the only part of the country located in Asia. It is between the Mediterranean Sea to the north and the Red Sea to the south, and the land bridge is between Asia and Africa. This is the Cenarian region, right? So remember, he said they were dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians, right? And then he said they would look like they were from the farthest Cenarian region. So when Giovanni da Verrazzano was trying to explain or describe these people, he was describing people that look just like me. It ended on this part right here that nobody really covers, right? It says that we, some of our young sailors, swimming ashore to take the people some trinkets, such as little bells, mirrors, and other trifles. And when he came within 4 fathoms of them, he threw them the goods and tried to turn back, but he was tossed about by the waves that he carried up onto the beach, half dead. Seeing this, the native people immediately ran up, took him by the head, the legs, and arms, and carried him some distance away. Whereupon the youth, realizing he was being carried away like this, was seized with terror and began to utter loud cries. They answered him in their language to show him he should not be afraid. Then they placed him on the ground in the sun at the foot of a small hill and made gestures of great admiration, looking at the whiteness of his flesh and examining him from head to toe. They took off his shirt, shoes, and hose, leaving him naked, then made a huge fire next to him, placing him near the heat. When the sailors in the boat saw this, they were filled with terror, as always when something new occurs, and the thought of the people wanting to roast him for food. After remaining with them for a while, he regained his strength and showed them by signs that he wanted to return to the ship. When the greatest kindness, they accompanied him to the sea, holding him close and embracing him. And then to reassure him, they withdrew to a high hill and stood watching him until he was in the boat. The youth learned the following about these people. They are dark in color like the other tribes. Their skin is very glossy and they are of medium height. Their faces are more. So riddle me this. If they look like the modern natives today, why would they be amazed about his white skin, right? Because if you look around at them today, how do they look? The 99% of them look the same as Europeans. Skin complexion, hair texture, the whole nine. Some of them just have more Eurasian or Asian phenotypical features, but we know why that is. Oh yeah, and these people behind me are American Indians. I want y'all to, Google Lens it and see what comes up. Peace, love, and power, my people.